Raider Nation, what's Gucci, baby? It's your boy Cadillac, and I'm back with a brand new video for you here on Raiders Country, coming to you live from the Northern California hills where the trees grow tall, and we talk that Raiders football, y'all. And today, I'm going to tell you why John Gruden resigning was the best possible thing to happen to the Las Vegas Raiders, and why moving forward, we will be winning the AFC West Championship in 2021, okay? But first of all, I'm going to start off and tell you a little bit about myself, okay? I played football for 20 consecutive years, starting when I was 8 years old, playing Pop Warner, till the time I was 28 years old, playing in the Arena Football League, okay? And over the course of that time, I definitely had a wide variety of coaches, of head coaches, you know? I had everything from the crazy, over-the-top, big-headed, aggressive, loudmouth type of head coach, all the way to the opposite end of the spectrum with the quiet, lead by example, humble type of coach. You know, and different strokes for different folks, different times, different coaching styles can be effective. But for the Las Vegas Raiders, Coach Bisaccia is definitely the right man for the job. And John Gruden was bringing everybody down with his negative attention. You know, when you have a 10-year, $100 million contract, you know, pretty much you get to do what you want. And John Gruden took that to the head. He basically made everything about himself. In my opinion, there's an old saying, you might have heard of it, there is no I in team. And straight up, John Gruden made things all about himself. He was the say-all, beginning and end-all to everything. He was the dictator of the Las Vegas Raiders, the face of the franchise. And he wanted it that way because he got paid to have it that way. And that was not what was best for the Las Vegas Raiders. You know what I mean? Whereas Coach Bisaccia is the complete and polar opposite, okay? Coach Bisaccia is a quiet man, a humble man. He leads by example. I saw Tony Dungy tell the story the other night about how he had players when Coach Bisaccia was on his staff that would go to special teams meetings, not because they were on special teams, but because they wanted to come hang out with Coach Bisaccia, because that was the aura, the positivity that he brought to the locker room that was infectious. And that infectious, cohesive, bringing men together, creating good relationships, creating a brotherhood is what Coach Bisaccia is all about. John Gruden really did have an old school dictatorial type of coaching style. You know, it was John Gruden's way or the highway. And that's the way it was going to be. And necessarily wasn't the best thing. You know, it worked for him in the 1990s, no doubt about that. He won a Super Bowl. He's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame because of what he did earlier on in his career. But unfortunately, that stuff's not flying in 2020. So over the last week and a half, I've come to notice something, and that's every time the press gets a chance to stick a microphone in either a player or a coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, they ask them the same questions. How come you guys are playing so much better? You know, how come the O-line is so much better all of a sudden? How come you can run the ball all of a sudden? How come you can actually score points in the first quarter all of a sudden? And, you know, everybody is trying to do their best to not be disrespectful towards Gruden, but everybody's pretty much giving the same type of answer. Josh Jacobs comes to mind. You know, they asked him what he thought the difference was of not having John Gruden on the sidelines, and he said, well, it's just a whole lot quieter out there. And that speaks volumes, you know, because John Gruden was a very loud personality. Like I said, all that negative energy, all that big ego that he had going on, that me, this is my team, basically was dragging everybody down. It was keeping everybody from reaching their full potential, okay? But even more than Gruden's negative attitude, his big ego, his dictatorial style of coaching, I think more than anything, the biggest negative that he brought was his play calling. And that's truly what was holding the Raiders back. John Gruden's play calling was narrow-minded And at the end of the day, John Gruden was not bouncing ideas off anybody. He was not coming up with his game plans by consulting with all of his coaches. John Gruden was telling people what the game plan was going to be. You know, John Gruden wants to line up with a fullback on first down. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to run the ball down your throat. Unfortunately, the other team gets paid too. They got a defensive coordinator who's paid to stop you from doing what you want to do. Okay? And as you look at it, looking back at those first 5 games, we couldn't score in the first quarter if our life depended on it. What happened as soon as Coach Olsen was in charge of calling plays? He runs play action 3 times on first down in that opening drive, and guess what? 7 points, touchdown, first time in the first quarter, first drive, all year long. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. So now, moving forward, the Raiders' play calling is being done by a trio. It's no longer John Gruden, do as I say, this is what's going on. What's going on now is Coach Olsen, Coach Cable, and Derek Carr are coming together and asking, hey, Coach Cable, what do you think would be the best way to run the ball this week? What plays do you think would work best with the linemen that we have in there? Let's play to their strengths. Whereas before, John Gruden would come in and tell Coach Cable, hey, Coach, we're going to be running this, and this week. Go get your guys ready to play. So that's a big difference right there. We're now, with Coach Cable, Coach Olsen, and Derek Carr coming together, they're going to try to put people in a position to succeed. This isn't about their ego. This is about the Raiders winning. I do give John Gruden credit for one thing, though, and that's it's hard to get a group of men to live in Las Vegas and perform at a high level. You know, there's only a certain type of man that can avoid all the distractions that Las Vegas brings to be able to concentrate on football and concentrate on winning above everything else. It's a tough task. John Gruden did find the right guys. He did find those very high character leaders to bring into the locker room, and I do give him credit and an applause for doing that, you know. But unfortunately, his play calling and his ego got in the way, and we're bringing the Raiders down, straight up. But now it's time for the bye week, okay? So if you know anything about a bye week, this is the time that you get a week off. You get a week away from the facility. And saying, take it, you're on a bad team. Right now, you're going, say you're 1-6 going into the bye week. You know what you're going to do? You're going to get your family, you're going to get on a plane, you're going to go somewhere warm, and you're going to spend the next week sipping on mojitos or margaritas, thinking about how nice it is to be away and to be able to relax away from football for a week. Well, guess what? The Raiders are a winning organization. They have great leaders. Nobody's leaving town this week. They are going to be at the facility. They're going to be lifting weights. They're going to be getting treatment on their injuries, getting healthier. They're going to be watching film. They're going to be spend time together, and they are going to get better in this bye week, because that's what good teams do during bye weeks. All right, so to wrap this thing up, I just want to say thank you for watching to the end of this video. I appreciate your time very much. I know your time's important. Go ahead. This here is Raiders Country. My name is Cadillac. If you could do me a favor, go ahead and do that Yannick Ngakoue impression. Sack that like button. Go ahead. Leave me a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. You know, negative feedback, positive feedback, whatever it is. I'm a grown man. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Again, I appreciate you. This was a great week for the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to get healthy, have another good week, and it's time to steamroll the New York Giants. All right?